Hello everybody,
Hello everyone.
welcome to DygmaPod number 2. Today we have our screwdrivers ready to disassemble the Dygma Defy. So maybe we can start the easy task, which would be removing the keycaps. Luis will show us his expertise on removing multiple keycaps at the same time.
Yeah, actually I would like to have a special mention to our Dygma Bowls.
Yes, the Dygma Bowls.
You can still not acquire them, but maybe in the future you can buy some.
We will make custom Dygma Bowls.
Okay,
Or
so,
could just put the stickers in a regular bowl,
but
but it won't be the same.
exactly. Anyway, first part of the assembly, removing the
Yeah.
pump pads.
But this is extremely nice because now they're not
Yeah.
stick. Now
Yeah.
they are.
Magnetic. Yeah, exactly. So, and although you cannot feel it because obviously it's a video.
Yeah, but maybe I can show it
Okay,
here.
okay,
And do
maybe.
let's switch to the hand cam.
David, please.
David, please.
Awesome.
Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah, probably you can see.
How
Like-
squishy they are.
Yeah, actually, not much pressure is required, and they are quite squishy. And the texture is soft, so it's quite nice. And then on the bottom part, we have this nice also texture. This is more like a rubbery finish.
Yeah, like anti-slip.
Yeah, exactly. So we have the plastic piece that holds everything in place, and nice weight. Actually, the quality of these pump pads are great. We've been trying to accomplish something similar to this for like 4 years. We've had so many suppliers of pump pads, and these are just the best we've ever had, and we're so happy about it. The feeling is great. So yeah. Anyway, as you can hear, you can see we're really happy with the pump pads.
Let's go back to.
David,
Yeah.
please.
I must say, yeah, we're already the right one.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I've been using it, like, and it feels weird, nice. You know, like it's like,
Yeah.
how is this so comfortable?
I think our previous pump pads were nice, but I would describe them as firm.
Yes.
I would describe these ones as soft.
But
So-
but I must say, when people see this and you squish them and say, oh, is it gonna be too soft?
No.
Like no. Once you put your palm, you know, their wrist is bigger than your finger, so it doesn't go that
Yeah, it doesn't go so deep
low.
down.
Yeah. So it's really nice. So remove that.
Okay, so we're gonna start with keycaps. So in my first trip to China with Dygma, I learned how they remove the keycaps. I was always using this tool, the keycap puller, and I was going one by one. But then I saw how they would just go lightning speed. I'm gonna remove the Dygma bowl,
Yeah.
and they would just like
Clack.
go exactly. They would be so fast removing the
I
keycaps.
must say, I'm not so experienced as you removing keycaps.
And they had no mercy. It's like they were even assembling them, that is more complicated. They were so fast. I was like, okay, we need to copy them. Let's stop using our keycap puller.
Yeah.
And I must say that it's easier. Well, we will talk about that when we have the switches, but I would say it's easier overall to disassemble the Defy than the Race.
Yes. And I also said, I think because it's columnar and it's not staggered, I think that helps too. That one goes over here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, but as you can see, it's not that difficult to just pull the keycaps with the fingers.
Yeah, and I messed up with this. And all this row is wrong.
We are being tested by the Dygmates.
I'm gonna try to read some questions like, where are the magnets in the pulp pad? That's a good question.
Okay.
We'll answer that once we finish.
Yeah, when we disassemble the top panel, you will see the 3 magnets here.
Oh, but they don't know where the pulp pads are here. The pulp pads are inside between the foam, which is it's not foam, it's silicone, and in this base here we have the magnets.
And we tried different configurations of magnets. So we tried 2, 3, 4, and we eventually settled on 3 because we felt that was the nicest feeling. With 4, it felt it was too strong, so we eventually went with 3.
And we use neodymium magnets, and it's really strong. But even though they're really strong, they still let you like adjust it
There's a little bit of wiggle room.
There's a little bit of wiggle room, which is nice. But then once it's in place, there's no way for it to fall or anything. They keep in place like really strong.
An improvement from the Defy versus the Race is that the switches are easier to remove. That's because we've slightly changed the dimensions of the holes of the top panel, so they're slightly bigger, but still all switches clip great. So there's no issue like having wobble or extra wiggle room or anything like that. It's just easier to disassemble.
And also easier to put them back on.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
There's more questions about the palmas. They're asking like, what's the distribution? Once we open it, it will be clear, but they form a triangle.
Yeah.
Kind of like a triangle. And,
yeah.
It's pretty.
The top panel has the 3 magnets, and you will be able to see it. So as soon as we open the keyboard, you will be able to spot them easily.
Yeah, and you will see, oh, Illuminati.
The Illuminati triangle, yeah. I must say that I like the little felt touch when you're removing the keycaps. No, it doesn't affect the feeling of removing them, but visually, instead of seeing the bare PCB, it gives a nice extra touch.
Yeah, and also you feel like more confident that you're not gonna break anything or anything.
Actually, the felt, it's not only for sound dampening reasons. It also adds a thin layer that makes the switches sit a little bit more flush. So it has an extra purpose.
And you can already see that our LEDs are top mounted. We'll show that later.
Yeah, and the felt compensates the height between the LEDs and the...
Yes.
And
We have a whole video about how we managed to have RGBW LEDs, which was not an easy task.
It sounds like a small thing, but it actually was really difficult to...
It feels like let's go to the shop and buy RGBW instead of RGB and pay a little bit more.
Yeah.
No, they were really hard to come by, and then we had to redesign the PCB completely. Check out, there's a video about that in our channel.
Something also different from the Race is that we've also modified the dimensions of the low profile holes. The low profile switches, if we compare them to the regular switches, so regular switches have like this little, I don't know how to call it, how would you call this little teeth, or anyway, maybe you can get the honeycomb.
Sorry, I was reading comments.
No worries. So a regular switch, you would press on these 2 sides, and there's this little thingies here that you can press, so it's really easy to remove. But on the other hand, on the regular low profile switches, those little recesses or those little teeth don't exist. So when you grab the low profile switch and you pull, you're actually just pulling the plastic. There's no mechanism that releases the switch from the top panel. So what we've done is that we've modified the dimensions of the hole, so it's much easier to remove. And later, when we open the top panel, you will be able to see that there's a little recess also here.
Yeah, the only I would say counter, drawback to that is that maybe if you don't pull the keycap completely straight, you might pull one of these. But just press it back.
Yeah, exactly, it would never break, so it's not a problem.
Yeah, but it makes so much easier to remove this. I remember on the Race, you really need to be confident about that.
Yep, removing and also clipping it back, it's just much easier.
Yeah, and I remember people thinking that those were not hot-swappable because they couldn't remove it.
Yeah, it was like glued. Okay, so we got the switches. Yeah, so here we have the top panel with the felt and the stabilizers that we will remove later.
Yes.
Okay, so we are getting into an interesting territory.
Maybe we can do like a small couple more moment for little questions.
For sure.
There's a person asking how do you remove the battery. We'll get to that
okay, yes,
later.
We will get to it.
And the other question is which are the thumb keys that we use the most? I think that's not the moment to say it, but I would say
well, we can show it there. This one. Yeah, so probably
maybe move it a bit down. So
probably
maybe David, you can put us perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, so probably the ones that most people are going to see as the most comfortable ones probably are these 4, but this 4 here. But then, depending on the dimensions of your hand, the size of your fingers and so on, probably this could be very, very comfortable too, or this could be very comfortable too. And if you have a reasonable amount of flexibility in your thumbs, probably you're gonna be finding this one's comfortable. So I would say the most comfortables are these ones in this area. But for example, if you have smaller hands, or when you place your hands on top of the keyboard, instead of having the hand completely straight, you have it a little bit more to the side, then probably you will find this one's comfortable too. So it kind of depends a little bit.
I think in Reddit we have published we have a video about this, like how we develop the thumb keys and which we expect more to be more comfortable. And on our Reddit we have a graph showing with a heat map showing which keys will be more accessible depending on your hand size. There's also a template to know what's big and what's not, and also depending on the position on your hand, the flexibility, you will see which thumb keys. But the idea is that two are super mega ultra comfortable.
Yeah, like the goal of when we were designing this, although there's 8 thumb keys, our goal is that any person, any hand size, any flexibility, 4 to 5 keys, really comfortable. That was the goal. If you have high flexibility or like a large thumb, maybe you are reaching the 8 of them comfortably.
Yes.
But our goal designing it was this 4 to 5.
Yes. Okay, so now maybe let's
okay, let's flip it. Okay, so here there's a few interesting things that we're gonna be able to disassemble. So we have the side legs, we also have the metal legs, we have the little rods, and we have the
also the tilting legs.
Yes,
the reverse tilting legs.
We also have the reverse tilting. But before moving into the legs, there's something important to notice here is that you can see all the screws, and this was
let's switch to the hand cam.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, so you can clearly see all the screws, and this was a design decision. We make all our products so they are easily disassembled, so they are easy to repair. So we are not using glue, or we are not hiding the screws under the pads. That we could have done it for aesthetic purposes, it's nicer, but this way it's easier to access the keyboard. And also you have we have these other 4 screw holes, that this is for mounting purposes, so you can mount a tripod, or you can mount it to the desk, or and so on.
We are looking forward for your ideas.
Yes, totally. Okay, so let's start with legs. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so maybe we can start with the side legs.
Yes.
Okay, they are not designed to be disassembled just like by anyone, but you can do it. Okay, so it just requires a little bit of
I'm gonna
force.
just go back to the hand cam to show how you do it.
Yeah, so you need some side force, and then you can pull it. So as you can see, there's 2 little knobs.
Broncs?
Yeah, I don't know how to call this, little knobs or little excess, or I don't know how to call it, but these little things. So it's a matter of clipping one and then pressuring on the other side.
I'm trying to show it, but your hand's in the middle.
Yeah, sorry.
It's okay.
And you're able to clip it. So and then it just works again. So same thing just to remove it. You press on the side and then you pull it out. So it's you need to use a little bit of force, but it's reasonably easy to remove. Okay, so we can start with this.
Let us do it.
Yep. Okay. Okay, so with the rods, Mikel, the first one we should remove is the bottom one. No?
Yes, I do. In fact, to remove the big leg, we don't need to remove the top one if you don't want to.
Okay. Okay, so again we have to push on the side, and then you're able to remove the little rod. But anyway, for the sake of the video, I'm gonna be removing the other one too, although it's not required. Okay, so here we have the second one. And to remove the leg, first we should remove the top one. Oh, let's see if I'm able to do it.
Oh, that should be pretty, like I was able to do it.
Probably is because it's really, okay.
Because you really screwed it.
Really pushed it. Yeah, later we will see why it was difficult to remove. So first we need to remove the top part because the knob is longer, and then you can remove the bottom one.
Sorry, let us show there in the hand cam, because I have to disassemble my keyboard and be the cameraman at the same time.
Anyway, so you can see that here this one it's a bit longer, and that this one is the top one. So always remove first the top side, and also it's easy to know which one fits backwards or forwards because of this surface here. So this extra surface, it's to put the finger inside and pull.
Yep.
So this has to always be on the top side. Yep.
Says, can you do a wobble test with the legs? I think once we put it back
when
together.
when we reassemble it, we do the wobble test.
I must say, doing a wobble test after reassembly is like extra. That's the extra test.
Yes. If it has no wobbling,
Yeah, they will be like.
they can hire us in the factories.
Yes, exactly. Like this, disassembling the legs, we did it. So let's say, hypothetically, something breaks, we will be able to send you the legs and just replace the legs. You don't have to replace, the whole base or anything like that.
Okay, second one here.
I'm going to remove the side tempting. This is the one that you need more.
Okay. You got it. Okay, and the last final piece. Okay, perfect.
We have a couple questions. Are the screws Pozi-Driv or Phillips heads? I don't know.
Phillips.
Phillips, right? This
Yeah.
is M3, and then
Yeah.
these ones are.
These ones here are M3. The ones inside are M2.
Yep.
So if you got a raise and purchase a denting kit, the screwdriver that the denting kit has is an M3 screwdriver, so you can use this one for the screws in the bottom plate, but the ones inside you will need a thinner screw.
Yes, because those are M2.
Yep.
So, lefty loosey.
And as you can see, it's not difficult to unscrew or anything like that.
I always say if for any reason a little one of them is a bit too hard, make sure to press down when you turn left.
Yeah, because if you're not pressing downward, what can happen is that you can damage the
Screw head?
the screw head, and then it's more difficult to remove. Okay, you got it.
I got it.
We're ready for the
So
moment.
we need some music like
Can you repeat it?
yes. So very important. Maybe I will use the hand cam. When
Yeah.
you open it,
Actually, let's repeat it. No sound required.
no sound required.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so once you unscrew it, so something important is that there's a cable connection here at the end. So when you open the Defy, don't like pull hard because you need to be careful. This is really easy to remove. So there's like two little pins here on the sides, and then the cable just releases. So it's just a matter of making sure that this little how to call this connector, this little connector, you need to pull both sides upward, and then the cable just is released.
Now I'm gonna do it without breaking it, hopefully. So yes, release. There's too little, and it's just,
it's so easy. Yeah, it's really easy. And we have the same kind of connectors inside the race, but the cable is in an L position, so it's actually much more difficult to remove. So when we were redesigning, in this case the Defy electronics, we made it so it was just easier.
Yeah.
So good job.
We have a
electronics team.
question here from Armeli. Did I understand correctly that the tenting legs are not required to be removed if I want to open the case?
No, not required at all. Actually, we just did it for the sake of showing that it's doable and it's not difficult.
Yeah, and they are attached to the base, and this is the base. So
Yeah, and another I think interesting decision that we made design wise is that the Underglow PCB, the battery, and the
RF PCB.
yeah, the RF PCB and the legs are part of the bottom block, and then on the top block you have the PCB for the low profiles and also the Keyscanner PCB, the one that contains all the switches. So it's kind of like a two-piece sandwich, and we designed it in this way. Although the race, basically everything is attached to the top panel, and the bottom panel is just a base.
No, the low profile PCB is attached to the bottom panel.
Oh, it's true.
That's one of the reasons
Correct.
why it's a bit tricky
and we have to unscrew it and so on. That's correct. Yeah, and we split it. Okay, so before we talked about the palm pads.
Maybe I can show you the magnets.
Yeah, so here you have the three magnets, and you can see how you can attach it. And there's a slight room to move it around, but it's like really.
Oh, yep, it's really. And it doesn't slide or anything. You just need to move it around.
Yeah, and you can see the feeling.
I think there's no way to describe it in video. Like it's so satisfactory.
Yeah. Okay, so moving into the inside of the keyboard. So low profile.
Keyscanner PCB.
Keyscanner PCB, where you have all the regular switches. RF PCB that is connected to the battery, and then we have the Underglow PCB that you can see this little connector on the side that when you connect it, when you assemble it, you can see here.
Let me show that in the hand cam.
Yeah, so you have here the little connector.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so we have here the little connector, and when you close it, here you have the pads, so the electricity flows from one PCB to the other.
Well, and the information, I guess.
Yeah, yes, and the information. Okay, so some things to consider. We have a double tape here, so you can hold.
Yeah, maybe go back to hand cam is really useful here.
Yeah, this is not wasn't absolutely required, but we have a double tape here, as you can see, because we've removed it a few times. It has been damaged, but this is much better than using glue, because if you want, you can just pull the cable, and if not, you just put it again. And we have the same under the battery, so when we remove the battery, you will see that we have double tape too.
And maybe you can talk about the hinge thing, about the little connector of the hinge of the leg.
Yeah, great point. So before we were talking about how to remove the leg, and it was difficult to remove the larger little knob, and that was because when I disassembled this before, I screwed it harder because I wanted a more, how to say it, a less
sturdier.
Yeah, sturdier, exactly, a sturdier feeling. So actually, maybe we can start with this. I can.
Let me try to get a good angle on that.
Yeah, so this is only required to do if you really want to modify the filling of the legs. So I can show you here. There's this three little pieces, this little rubber piece, and then you have this plastic piece and the two screws. So this create when you put pressure with the screws towards the little rubber.
Yeah, and towards
these little holes.
Yes.
What's happening is that actually you're pressuring this little knob. Yeah, and that knob is inside here, but on the other side. So you're creating friction by screwing harder the screws, and then because you're creating friction, the legs require more force. Sorry if I'm not the best explaining this, but it's kind of difficult to explain. Although disassembling it and reassembling it, it's quite easy, to be honest.
Brandon is asking, do the power plugs need to come off to fit in the case? Pedro already answered. He's really fast, so but it's not needed. You know, everything fits, and also the tenting. One of the things that we have with the race is that with the tenting on, it can fit on the case, but it's just a bit, just a little bit. The top row is pressured. Now with this tenting kit that folds into the body, the keyboard fits into the case perfectly.
Okay, so
maybe you want to put that little thing back, or you want to put it later?
No, I will put it, I will put it later. So let's disassemble first. This is the easy part because you only have a few screws, and once you've removed the PCB, there's nothing else. So maybe we can start there.
Yeah, sure.
Here's when we need to move to the M2 screwdriver, because these screws are a little bit smaller. And I don't know about you, Mikel, and I'm not an engineer, but I've always found the PCB design really fascinating.
Yeah, me too.
Really, they have like their special beauty, like with the traces and all the little component, and it kind of feels, at least it gives me the vibe of this kind of Star Wars spaceships, where you have these little fighters flying around and shooting. So yeah, I could put this on a
I think also
the
for PCB drawings I also like, like
schematics.
Schematics are really, really cool too.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna turn this around.
And if you get the hand cam, you can really see the chips and everything around.
Yeah, you can. This is the key scanner, and there's the main chip there. And you
Yeah,
also
and
have an LED driver.
Yeah.
I think that one. Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know if you can see the traces.
I don't think they're difficult. Maybe if you turn it a little bit to the light. Yeah.
There you can see the traces. Yeah. So you can see the traces that connect between all the sockets and all the traces that go to the chips and the different electronic components.
I must say one of the things that I like is that this PCB is white, and it's not because that's what you see when you open the keyboard, and it looks really nice. And that's the felt.
Yeah, that's
that we
it,
were
that's
talking
the felt.
about.
And we were talking about that. I don't know if the camera can capture it, but the LEDs are slightly over the PCB, so it's probably like a mil and 1 millimeter, a little bit higher. So the felt makes it so they're at the same surface level.
Yep.
And
then we have here the foam that's
the sound dampening foam, that it's not stuck, it's just on top of it, and the PCB sandwiches it with the screws. And some like little things that you can notice is that you can see these little dents or little teeth on the sides, and that's because the PCBs are created kind of like in a bigger PCB, and then they snap it so they can remove them.
You can go to the top panel view. That would be It's like when you buy those soldier toys or assembly things.
Exactly.
They snap it.
You snap it. Yeah, exactly the same thing.
I don't know. We always laugh at how these two look like wings.
Yes, kind
like
of.
like angel wings, or maybe you do it like that with the white.
Yeah.
So it's, I don't know.
Anyway, I'm gonna drop it. Here.
And then here's the stabilizer, which always gets himself in trouble.
Yeah, I've assembled incorrectly the stabilizer so many times that actually this is the beginning of the end when pieces start falling, and then I do it the other way around.
It has happened to me so many times that now I know how to do it properly. But I hate it every time.
Yes.
That's why if you don't need to remove the PCB, don't. But usually if you want to really clean your keyboard, for example, you might want to.
Yeah, and as you can see, we can even remove the foam very easily. But yeah, we can just leave it here. Yeah. Okay. Any questions maybe related to this?
Yeah. Okay, that's just one half of the Defy work wirelessly, or do they need to be on together? So the left side, in RF mode, either side will work independent from the other because each side is connected to the neuron that is connected to the computer. Yeah. And Bluetooth mode, only the left side works on its own. The right side connects via RF to the left side, and that connects via Bluetooth. I think you have the left side. Yes, you do.
Yeah.
So the neuron, maybe you can turn it around. Oh, the neuron will be connected here, and that will be connected via Bluetooth to the computer.
Yep.
So I mean, you can always move the left side away, and it will still be connected. It doesn't have to be like next to it or anything.
Yeah, or you can put it in a
drawer if you want.
In a drawer, exactly. Yeah, it won't be any problem.
Exactly.
Okay, any other questions, or we move into?
No more questions. Just Brandon saying you guys are awesome for this, so thank you.
Thank you, man. Okay, so now we are gonna be removing the Underglow PCB.
Yes. It's got 6 screws.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes.
It's always important to keep these screws separated from the ones from the case because they are different, but they're really easy to differentiate.
Yeah. Okay, one more to go.
You're gonna win.
I think the screwdriver, it's nicer.
Yes, you got the wood one.
Benefit of the CEO.
Yeah.
Okay, so
yeah, there's nothing. It seems so simple, yet so much time was put into this.
Yes, designing this was a pain in the ass. But yeah.
Yeah, there's like a 15-minute video about it. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember when we were designing the Defy.
Yeah. Sorry.
Oh yeah. there's not so much. Well, maybe you can see the traces. I don't know. Mikel, you can
Yeah,
tell.
you can.
You can tell me.
You can barely see. Yeah, there you can see it
Here?
with the light. Sometimes if you flip it a little bit, you can see some traces there.
Anyway, so one thing like this was a big improvement on the Defy. Sorry, on the Race, because here we have all the LEDs. I think you can see them, all the LEDs, and they are side mounted, so the LED, the light shines to the side. And actually, we can remove this, and this is the piece that makes the diffuser, that makes that distributes the light. So you have this beautiful underglow. And although this seems so simple, this plastic ring and this PCB ring, it was not at all. And actually we can change the camera. At the beginning, when we were deciding how to do this, I remember having so many arguments with Manel, because Manel considered that this was very difficult, and he was right. I must say.
You can feel Manel's resentment when he explains it in the video, you know.
Yes, and so he was right that this was very difficult to accomplish, but we did it, so it was worth it, and the result is that we have the best underglow in the market, period.
Yeah, and there's only 63 LEDs there, right?
Yeah. Only.
Only.
Yeah, RGBW LEDs, but yeah, amazing.
And also, you know, even a simple plastic piece like this, that it feels like it's just,
A plastic
you
piece.
know, like, oh, there, just ask for one of it. Besides, you know, having to make a mold for this and everything. I think we went through countless iterations of the density and or the material that goes in, and how, you know, to make it more translucent, because if it's more translucent, you get more light, but then you get hot spots or dark spots.
Yeah, maybe you can get the hand cam, because another thing that we need to play around with a ton was the positioning of the LEDs and the distance between the LEDs and the diffuser, but also the screws, kind of screw the position of the LEDs. So we had to create space for the screws and ensure that there were no hot spots on the lighting on the side. So
Yeah,
that
you can even
required
see it here that we even created like a little area for the screw, so it didn't screw everything.
Yeah, so again, this looks like really simple, like a small thing, but actually it was so much work. I'm gonna pull this outside a little bit.
Yes, so we have space for the plates things.
Okay, so
Maybe
Underglow.
Quick question, there's a guy asking if the Defy will work with the iPad. Yes, in fact it actually works plugged if you have an iPad Pro, and it works with Bluetooth. And I don't know if we haven't tried if it will work in RF. I guess it should if you plug the RF.
I guess it should.
I guess it should.
If you're plugging the neuron,
Yes,
it should.
It should. And so yeah, it can be any of your 3 Bluetooth devices, or you can plug it in. Although I must say it will draw, but if you plug it in like with wired, it will draw from your battery. And but I've done that with the Race and with the Defy in a meeting with just my iPad, and it works perfectly.
I've done it on my phone too. I have a regular Android phone, and they did it with the Race. You just plug it in and it works.
Yeah.
No problem. So with the Defy would be the same. Okay, so should we move to the RF PCB or to the battery?
Maybe I will remove the battery first, because it's easier to remove it when the PCB is plugged.
Okay, so let's start by removing the little cable.
Let's grab the hand cam so people see. It looks dangerous, but it's not.
Yeah, actually I was quite scared, but we just need to pull, and that's it.
Yeah,
it was
easy.
that easy. And to plug it in, you just push in. So as simple as this. It looks really
Scary. at
yeah,
first.
scary, but it's just really simple. Okay, so let's remove the battery. So as I said, mentioned before, there's double tape underneath. So you need to do kind of how would you call this?
A lever?
movement?
Lever?
Yeah. So you need to do this lever movement here on the side.
You can hear it
Yes.
snap. I mean, it's not snap, but you know, it's
Yeah, and that's it. You can see that it's damaged because it's a double tape, but it will stick again every single time. So we decided to use double tape, even though you can see that it breaks, but at least it's much better than glue, because if this was glue, when you remove it, it doesn't work anymore.
yes. And this is a very special double tape that is resistant to higher temperatures.
Yeah.
Because the
The battery
won't be
can-
really hot, but
Yeah.
a bit hot.
Yeah.
So we'll stay there even with temperature.
Yeah, so removing the battery was just as simple as this. Not much more to
Yeah, no
have in
more to
mind.
it. I'm gonna unplug mine. I think I'm not gonna remove mine because
Yeah,
that way it will stick there.
That's
But I
fine.
will remove the little connector. You can see how easy it is.
Okay, so we move to the RF PCB.
Yeah, that's the last bit.
Okay, so 3 more screws to go.
Maybe once you unscrew it, you can show the little piece that we have there for it to be more strong.
Sure. Okay, got it.
Oh, it's faster this time around.
So if you wanna get the hand
Yeah.
cam. Okay, so we have this little plastic piece, and this little plastic piece is just to protect the connector and hold it in place. So you screw it. So even if when you're removing the neuron or fitting it inside, because the neuron goes here, that piece will hold this connector. That right now you can see that this connector is kind of wobbling because there's no screws. That piece will hold the connector in place. So even if you're creating force in the wrong angle, it won't break, basically. So it's a
foolproof.
Yeah, foolproof. Yes. So it's a reinforcement. So it's sturdier.
And it holds with 3 screws, 2 here and 1 over there.
Yep. And then you unstick the little connector, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I think there's nothing else to disassemble.
Well, we could remove the little
Oh yeah.
the little green and red button. That
Maybe I can grab the. I remember that this. I saw a picture in the factory, like some person just putting that sticker, having a pile of things
Yeah.
like this, and putting that list.
these little
sticker.
stickers. Yes. So basically, this turns on and off the wireless of the keyboard.
Yes. If you have wireless, if you don't, go get it.
Because it's worth it.
Yes.
Okay. So anything to talk about this, or any questions?
Well, there's a question from CZY. It's like battery with cable can be purchased separately. I think right now you can't, but that will be.
But in the future,
yeah, you will be able to buy it. Let's say your battery will die eventually because you use it maybe 3 years from now. I don't know. Whenever you feel like you need more time, and then you can buy it and change it.
Yeah, and actually the European law, it's mandatory for every company to have 2 years warranty. I think in some areas it's even 3 years, and then you need to have components for 10 years.
Yes.
So let's say, imagine that in 7 years time the batteries die, and you ask us for a battery, you want to purchase a battery, and we have no batteries in stock. We need to solve that situation for you. So in the worst case scenario cost wise, but best case scenario for you, we would need to give you a brand new keyboard.
I think Dygma 2.0.
Yeah, or
3.0
whatever.
something like that.
Yeah, if we didn't have a component. So we've designed the keyboard in a way that is really easy to disassemble, as you can see.
And this battery is off the shelf.
Yeah, exactly. And that's another decision. Like if you realize, if you look at the shape that
Yeah,
it's...
maybe I can grab the cable. Hand cam.
Yeah, so if you realize the shape available or the space available, we have more space here. So we could have created a custom battery that got kind of filled this space, so we had more battery. But then what would have happened is that it's not off the shelf. So then potentially it could be more risky in the sense of finding them in the future.
Yeah, or
and
we
so
will
on.
need to manufacture more of them, and
Yeah,
they were custom
so
made,
on,
and then
yeah.
we can't. That supplier maybe doesn't want to do it, and
Yeah.
then
Yeah,
it's-
stories, yeah. But anyway, so this is kind of the last point of the disassemble. I could remove also this little piece here at the top that creates pressure on the leg, but we've already done it in the bottom part, so I don't
Yeah,
think
I
it's,
think
it's
not, that's not needed to disassemble. That's something that you will need to, if you want the leg to be harder to
Yeah.
move, maybe or
Stiffer.
loosen it, stiffen, more
Yeah.
stiffen it up, or lose it because you want, just to be, you don't mind,
Yeah.
and just turn it.
Yeah,
down.
so if you want it extra stiff, just go.
Yeah,
how to
go
say-
all in.
Yeah, exactly. go all in. If not, you just free it
can
a little
just-
bit, and then you can play around with the force.
That it requires, yes.
yeah.
But you don't need to unscrew this to remove the leg.
No, not required at all.
No.
Because actually we've removed all the legs before,
before
opening the keyboard, and that
it will be
was
just you
really-
need to be more confident about it.
Yeah, you need to push a little bit harder to remove the leg.
They are Adenansu is asking, can Dygman reassemble this blindfolded yet? They're asking that because we had the TikTok and the YouTube show where I recognize different keyboards blindfolded, but I cannot reassemble this blindfolded
But
yet. I will train. I will have a video about it. It's completely blindfolded.
I think it's
doable.
I think it's doable. Yeah, if you know where the elements are, the screws are here, the legs are here, and so on, I think it's doable.
Yeah, maybe when you put the keycaps back, they're not exactly in the layout, but you could.
Well,
you're careful.
if you get them from the right spot, and
Yes, you will have to be extra careful. But yeah,
actually, maybe we should accept this challenge. I don't think it's that difficult.
you want to do it now?
Not now.
But we'll make that video.
But
We'll make that video.
Not now, because if not, the stream will be
Like 8 hours.
painfully long. Yes, we need the magic of video editing to make that 8 hours long. Just a 10 seconds video.
Yeah, like a marathon.
Yeah.
I have a couple of questions, and then we can go back to. So TCW, thanks for clarifying and mentioning the law in Europe. You're welcome. I guess
we are in
it's the
Europe.
law. Yeah.
We are in Europe, so we need to.
A question for Vertimouse: are there any pre-built popular layers in the Dygma? Like the Defy will come with 3 layers, and those will be installed. And we're working on our repository of layers that you can go there, download them, and put them on your keyboard.
Yeah, and we've kind of redesigned these base layers because through the years we learned that many customers, although they bought the race and we consider that the layers and editing the layers is kind of like 50% of the product, many customers didn't really edit the layers.
Yeah.
And through testing and through years of interviewing and so on, we realized that it's easier for people, even though in this case instead of 2 layers we have 3 layers, we've split the functionality in a way that it's easier to learn. So I would say that these layers are better designed, that they were designed for the race. So I hope that even if people don't play around with the layers, they will find it easier, and they will also get more out of the keyboard, and eventually maybe feel like improving at least a little bit the layers. And if you're a hardcore user and you go all in, it's gonna be as simple as with the race. So
yeah, I think that the new software that is so much easier to use, I think that will also help.
Yeah, if we compare base core when we launched the race at the beginning of 2020 and base core right now, the experience now it's like 10x better.
Yes.
So if you were a Kickstarter buyer back then and you're a Kickstarter buyer now, like it's like day and night.
Okay, let's
reassemble.
Yes.
Okay, let's go back to it. Oh,
Now
remember to put this first. I was forgetting about it.
I did.
Actually, I didn't.
No, I did.
I didn't look if the green or the red was.
Oh.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think I'm good.
Which one it is? It's like this or the other way around?
It's the other way around.
Like this?
No.
So like this.
Yeah, when you put it to the right, when you move it toward the
totally.
wireless
Yeah,
symbol,
yeah.
it's green.
So the wireless symbol is on the opposite side, on that side.
Yes. No, it's always to your right. So you always click is
Okay.
on.
Yeah. Perfect. Okay. Well, I could have screwed it up here. Luckily, Mikel was next to me. He did a good job.
Maybe it's the other way around when we're reassembling. We'll see. There's a question from Cedric, but with numbers, asking, is production still on schedule? I must say, I have a meeting tomorrow with Manel. Not tomorrow, not 2 days from now, to do a recap. He's working with the suppliers. Him and Aitor are working with the suppliers. So, honestly, I can't tell you because I haven't been talking. I have an update tomorrow or Thursday, sorry, with Manel. Because next week we'll do another update. Sorry for the silence. I guess it's a bit boring to see 2 dudes screwing
PCBs.
screwing PCBs in.
But
So
if there's any questions, we can.
Yeah,
answer
I'll
them
try
for
to.
sure.
I try to. For now, no questions. People are just joining the SAMR of us.
Okay, so the first 3 screws on the RF PCB, then connecting the connector for the battery, just a little push, so really simple, even though it looks scary to remove. I think this is called ribbon cable. How do you, Miguel, do you know what's the name of this one? I think it's called ribbon cable. Maybe
Yes, ribbon cable.
Yeah. So again, double tape, so you can just leave it there, and it's on the right place for the next step. Okay. So next step would be Underglow PCB.
Yes.
But first of all, we need to put the Underglow, and this
no, the diffuser.
yeah, the Underglow diffuser, and I've done this step wrong a few times before.
And also, it's important that the ribbon goes
On top of it.
on top of it.
Yep. Okay, so you just drop it in. There's you don't really need to pressure or anything like this.
No. There's a question from Shinigami.
Shinigami.
I said it twice because the name, our username is twice.
Shinigami.
Exactly.
So he's double death of God.
Exactly.
Sorry, God of death. Sorry.
So the question is, do we need to be careful not scratch the painted device so the paint does not take off? I would say they're not painted. They are anodized. Not only the black and the silver, but all the special colors are anodized with that color. So
But
you can be scratched.
Is he talking about the top panel or he's
Yeah,
talking
top
about
panel.
the PCBs?
Top
Oh, okay.
panel. So they anodize. I mean, you can, if you're not careful, you know, if you go with something like a screwdriver and you scratch it,
Yeah, and
you can
actually,
scratch it.
we've been playing around with these top panels quite a bit, and we've damaged one of. I think it's yours that has a little.
A dent, yes.
Yeah, a little dent because
I
we've
can
been.
show. Maybe I can show it with the hand cam. I mean, I don't know if the camera is gonna pick it up. You can point to it.
It's like this one.
Yes, right there. That I did with the screwdriver, I believe. So you have to be a bit careful not to put metal things on it.
Yeah, but it's anodized aluminum, so it's actually very resistant, much more resistant than if it was paint.
Yes.
And yeah, if you get a metal thing and you just attack your top panel, then eventually you can damage it, of course.
But it's not like paint that will, chip off easily
Yeah, exactly.
or anything like that. I'm so bad screwing back things.
Hey, but this is kind of like a relaxing podcast,
Yes,
no?
it's cathartic. For at least for us, putting it back together, it feels like maybe we should have like lo-fi music in the background.
Yeah, actually, lo-fi music in the background would make it nice for sure.
I think the beat puts lo-fi music
Okay,
for the
nice.
stream. We don't hear it, but you guys hear it. So
Okay, nice. Okay, so I got my underglow screwed already.
yes.
So
I
we-
am missing one screw.
So we're gonna be moving onto the PCB, the Keyscanner PCB and the low profile. Oh, I forgot to mention something before.
Before you put the piece, you have to put on the
Oh yeah,
your beloved stabilizer.
totally. Okay, before I mention something that forgot to talk about again, that it was related to the clipping of the low profiles. So you can see that we CNC'd the top panel underneath, so the fitting is better. So this was another thing that we learned.
Let me grab the
from
hand
race.
cam so maybe they can see it better.
Yeah, so there's a few things. Probably here you can see the magnet. So we recessed also the top panel here with CNC. So the three magnets are kind of closer to the top surface, but at the same time we created this space. This little area is for the battery. So batteries through time grow slightly. So this way there's room for the battery to grow if required. And these ones are for better clipping of the low profile switches, so they are easy to assemble and disassemble.
Yes. I must say those little things are drive our suppliers crazy.
Yes. It's like, why do you want to do this?
Is this necessary? Like, why? Nobody's gonna see that. Nobody's gonna open it and say,
No one
yes,
cares.
They will.
And
Yes,
we're
they will.
like-
They will care.
They care about
We
it.
care. Did you put your
Oh, yeah. Thanks
Actually-
thanks for reminding me for the second time to put the stabilizer before I screwed up again. No,
okay, there
it
we go.
fell.
Oh, I can reassemble it. It's while you were talking, I did mine. Oh yeah, it's not that difficult, but it's just a bit annoying.
Okay, I think this is the right position.
Yes, you should do like a click.
Little
yeah,
clack.
like a little clack. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, I think I got it in the right position.
Okay. It feels like those. Pedro is saying it feels like those movies where the soldiers have to reassemble their guns. Okay. And if we don't do it in certain amount of time,
We get shot.
we
no?
will shut. No. And maybe they will get more views. like.
Okay. I'm not sure if it's worth it.
You know, if we get 2,000 likes,
If we get
the loser will be shot.
we'll get shot. But we are not saying with what kind of weapon they
Yes,
the
we
loser
have,
will
we
get
have a
shot.
Nerf gun
Exactly.
in the office, so maybe I think I lost a screw because I was with the camera here all the time. How many screws are in the back? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, so I have it. This one's lower.
It's the M2. Yeah, I
Yes,
think it's that one.
that's one.
That one. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, I was close to forgetting to reassemble the little piece that creates force in the leg. So you have a
Yeah, that's really
you,
important.
you have a stiffer feeling.
One thing that you might remember is that you need to press with the foam and the felt. You might need to press the PCB down a little bit for it to catch the thread. I don't know why-
Do we have any questions?
I'm trying to put this in its position.
Yeah, I don't want you to win. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, are there any plans to sell just the panels so we can change them out, like change colors?
Not really. At least not for this first batch. We haven't manufactured ton extra.
Yep.
If that was the case, if there's like a lot of people asking for it, we could consider it. But yeah, we haven't done it in that way.
I
And
see.
that's because we
Done
think
something wrong.
it's not worth it compared to how many people are asking for it. It's kind of like a minority.
Yes.
And also
was-
from an operation side cost, it's like you need to have the spare parts, manufacture more, and
Ship
also
them and have a special packaging for it.
yeah, actually special packaging. That sounds like a small thing, but when your minimum order quantities are low, creating all these extra things, it's a big hassle. Okay, got this one. So we're now connecting the cable.
I must say this is much easier on the Defy
Then on the race.
now because I said that. I'm struggling.
Now you won't be able to connect it. I know people are not even seeing what we're doing.
Or maybe from the top cam.
Now I'm struggling to.
Oh, it's because it was not. You need to pull it out. Pull the sides up.
Okay, now ready.
Okay.
Perfect timing.
Yes.
Okay, so it seems this was assembled properly. Nice.
And now we have to put down the.
Now the 6M3 screws to finalize the sandwich.
Did we say something in Spanish? That says Eduardo says it's curious. Oh, yeah, it's in Spanish and it's related. Like it's curious that they never heard us speak Spanish. I don't know if we just spoke Spanish, or
We try not to, so everyone can understand us.
yes, we only swear in Spanish because it's our mother tongue. You know.
But we try to not do it in stream.
It says here from Skillful, and maybe we can answer that later. Why columns for index finger are leveled? It bugs me a lot, and it's the only reason why I didn't bought it yet. Maybe we can.
Yeah, I guess he means this one or lower
Ah,
than this
that
one.
these two have the same height.
Okay, that's a good question. So when we were testing it, lowering the height makes it so it's easier to access the top one, but it's questionable that it's easier to access the low one, because this, well, when we assemble the switches and the keycaps will be easier. This movement, it's not super easy to do, this one, so you would need to move the index even more, and to access this position comfortably, many people we've checked that they raise their hand to access it. Okay, so that's doable, but then this creates an extra problem, is that the keycaps next to the this switch need to go lower. So lowering the whole column, the secondary column on the index, kind of improves reaching this key here, but worsen the experience of reaching this one. I would say that probably they improve slightly this one because of the curve of the finger, but it's a worse experience for this one, and it's a worse experience for the whole thumb.
Yes.
So we eventually reached the conclusion that it was not worth it. And while we were developing the position of these three keys, we realized that some people, when they hit with the thumb, their thumb goes outside, so they're not hitting with the top part of the thumb, they're actually hitting with the side part of the thumb. So we needed some extra space, and this is what made us have 3 keys instead of 4. And another thing is that if your index is here, reaching here to the top part is quite a stretch. So we thought that lowering the top one and putting higher the bottom one will make it easier to reach. So the combination of all those reasons made us create these two at the same height, and then this one in the middle.
And there's a whole video about that too on YouTube. It's like,
yeah, the layout design.
Yeah, I think it's called Can I use 16 thumb keys, or can you handle 16 thumb keys? Is it that? Oh, so there's a question from 2 questions. Armeli, can backers still update their order to get a second Defy for the same price as during the Kickstarter, or would it be the same price as what it is on the Dygma store? If you were a backer, you can upgrade your order and you'll get that discount. So you can message contact@dygma.com or DM Pedro, it's drop on Discord, and he will also help you, or DM us on Twitter or wherever you want. And the other question that Eduardo was asking, besides that, why don't we speak Spanish, is if we need to change only the PCB in the future for some reason, will you sell it too?
Yeah, for sure. Yes.
100%.
And going back to the question related to the columns, the position of every key has been thoroughly tested, so it was not random at all.
We have like too many prototypes about that.
Yes. Yeah, actually, I think we have a very good video talking about
this is one, the thumb keys video. It's also about the layout. It's about all that design process, because the important thing is that the thumb keys you also talk about it are related to the layout. You cannot design one without the other because they're interconnected.
Yeah, that's a great point. So the position of the pinky and the position of the index modify the curve that your thumb describes. So the lower your pinky is, the more parallel your thumb is going to be. The higher your pinky is, the more downward, I would say, the curve is described. So we had to test all of this thoroughly to not only figure out the position of the index and the pinky, but for the thumb curve too. Okay, moving onto the legs. So we need to clip the rods. It's quite easy to clip the rods because you can just flex the aluminum legs, and it's quite easy to assemble it.
It's more difficult to put them on to remove them when they are assembled. The legs are still assembled, but you need to remove them too. So remember, put the long. Maybe I will record myself, but you need to put the longer prong first, and then the shorter one afterward. Because if not, you might find that it's doable yet. Oh, I did what it said that we didn't do. That's what you shouldn't be doing. You need to put this after that, because if not, it's more difficult to put it back.
Actually, yeah, because you can bend the aluminum leg.
Yes.
That's true. I hope Manel is not seeing us.
Manel, don't watch. That makes putting this back a little bit more complicated, but it's better.
Okay. In. And another detail is that you should put the rods through the bottom part underneath, not on the top.
Yes.
Because the rods are designed so they don't go over the surface of the leg.
I must say, there's no need to disassemble the legs.
Like we did, yeah. No need at all.
Just if, I always, if you have a baby elephant and it sits on the tenting, maybe they will break and then you will need to change them. So not have a baby elephant near your keeper. That would be my recommendation.
There was a Dygmate that I don't know exactly what happened, but I think that the official story is that a large speaker, fell from his, how do you call the thing that you have on the wall?
Shelf?
From the shelf, and the speaker fell on top of the race.
With the tenting?
With the tenting, and the legs of the tenting kit bent.
Oh, okay.
And the race was not damaged.
I think maybe the legs absorbed the impact, so maybe if it was flat on the table, it would have had to absorb the impact, but maybe the legs. But they didn't break, they just bent.
Yeah, exactly.
I must say the tenting kit of the race is like proper sturdy,
It's
like
really sturdy.
made of metal and super sturdy.
Super sturdy, yes.
Okay, now it's the boring part of us just putting switches back. But we'll have something. If you keep watching, we will have something for you at the end. One of us will be killed.
Yeah, I was thinking, what is he gonna be offering now?
We'll have a little something at the end. So that's a classic trick to keep the engagement on, but we promise we won't. How do you say defraudar in English? Deceive you?
Let you down?
Let you down, thank you.
We have a Dygma tool.
Okay, I think this was screwed properly. The feeling is good, so that's great. Let's see later if we have
Wobbling.
no wobbling. Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Is there a question from Robin del Águila? You know how well we pronounce Spanish.
Robin del Águila.
Robin del Águila, it says here.
Actually, I really like that surname. It's kind of like powerful.
It feels like, I'm, what's this meme where, I'm Roberto something and then I'm here to kill your father, something like that.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Now I forgot the name, but it felt like that, I'm...
Okay, so what's the question?
Oh yeah, sorry. My bad. Would there be an add-on PCB that could use south-facing switches?
Not really.
No. We like north-facing because of the LED, and also the legends are designed to work with north-facing.
Yeah, and south-facing switches have the issue that the LED is shining in this direction, so it's less, I would say, nice to look at the keyboard because you see the LED light shining through directly to you, towards you.
Yeah, a bit blinding. And there's more questions. How long will the 10% pre-sale last? That's a good question.
Good question, yeah.
It was until the end of this month, but we are probably gonna extend it. But just to be sure, I will get it this month.
Yeah.
It's why risk it? Why risk it?
It's not gonna last much longer.
Yeah, it's not gonna last much longer. So if you're gonna buy it, buy it.
We're gonna have Defys here soon, and as soon as we have them here, probably that 10% is gonna disappear. So if you're
Íñigo Montoya. My name is Íñigo Montoya. Prepare to die. That's the meme. Sorry, I had to do it.
Powerful name.
So that felt like I'm what was it? I think he removed the question. Oh, I think he removed the question.
So that's because we answered the question, or
I don't know. Oh no, it's here. Robin del Águila. Robin del Águila. My name is Robin del Águila. Prepare to die. That will be our internal meme from now on. I love your name.
It would be awesome that Robin, you come to the Discord and you kind of shout at us.
Yes. Be angry. And maybe you how do you say amenazar? Oh, today
Threaten
threaten us, like
yes.
prepare to die.
Yes. I must say that anyone that has stick through the whole stream today
Yeah.
of this disassembling and reassembling.
Kudos to you. Thank
Yes,
you very much.
yes,
Yeah.
thank you very
I
much.
would not watch myself doing this.
Hey, don't say that. We have to be positive
Oh yes, I would definitely, like on a loop
for a whole day.
for a whole day. Maybe that's a torture. Someone would use.
Maybe when we hire new people as a part of the onboarding
They
for a
have
whole
to
day,
watch this.
stream.
all the streams.
Yes. Maybe for the marketing people, Miguel, what do you think?
Yes, I think
That's a
it
great
could
idea.
actually be useful.
That's a
you know.
great idea.
So there's a good question from GBY2K6. Putting my spelling abilities to the test. Is what is the keycap profile used? Great question.
Cherry profile.
Yes.
And we went from OEM to cherry profile because it's thinner. So from an ergonomics perspective, it's better. And to be honest, also from an aesthetic perspective, we like it better. So I would say double win over there.
24-hour assembly stream when? You know, like maybe people put it in the background so they
On-
hear
on loop.
like messing with keycaps and
Yes.
whatnot.
And mispronouncing names and pricing Spanish surnames or Latin surnames that sound powerful.
Yeah. Okay, I got the. So it's a bit tricky to put the
The stub.
stabilizer back. So there's a question, great question from Jay. Does taking apart the Defy like this void the warranty, or do you encourage people to take apart the Defy?
That's a great question. I think opening it wouldn't void it, but messing with the electronics and so on would void it, I would
Yes.
say.
So open it. Yeah, you need to do like there's a little bit of. I say that that stabilizer is the most annoying bit to do.
Yeah. Okay, I think I got it in place. Yeah, got it in place. Okay.
So let's try the tenting.
This is the real.
The real deal.
Yes.
I must say the most challenging is 5 degrees.
Okay. So let's start with the most challenging.
Let's
one.
start with the most challenging.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay, got it. Okay, I'm gonna wait for you. So we test it. You got it on 5.
Yes, I got it. 5.
Okay. I would say it's fine. Wait, let's.
Yeah, that's the
let me
most.
try-
Oh, yeah, that's out of the frame, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, I got it out of the frame because this surface is soft.
Oh, I can grab the hand cam.
Yeah. So this is a.
On hard surfaces, it's
yeah,
harder.
So you can see the typing. I would say no real wobbling. If I'm hitting on the corner, you can see that if I press hard, I can pull it
but
out.
that's
this-
without any hand on the keyboard.
Yeah, exactly, because your hand creates pressure. There's extra weight, so you're not experiencing any wobbling. If you press hard on the corners, you would experience it. But I mean,
I wouldn't say
think
it's
this-
wobble. It's
yeah.
that flex a little bit, you know, like a little bit of flexion.
Yeah, I would call this probably geometry issues more
Yes,
than
yes.
wobbling. And the reason I removed it from the mat is because the mat is soft and there's a little bit of extra, how to say it? I can push it downward.
Yeah.
So
The mat is better for the keyboard actually, like for to avoid wobbling, but it will flex. It feels like it flex.
actually, I've assembled this the other way around.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's a little bit more flex now in the table because of the mat, but the feeling is good. And this is the worst.
Yeah,
Worst
if
position.
you put it in like maybe 15 or 20, something like that, there's little
Let's give it a shot.
markings there.
Yeah. Can you see it?
I don't know if you can see it. We're making a video that will show it, but this is oh, you can see there. There's some inscriptions that will tell you which angles,
Yeah.
which.
So let's give it a shot at 20.
Well,
So I can press and you can see that
the table is moving.
yeah, you can see that it's moving a little bit, but I wouldn't consider this wobbling, to be honest.
No.
This is just a matter of the mat flexing. But yeah, I would say this is really stable. So if we've disassembled and now we've reassembled and we don't have wobbling, I think we can say like
Yeah.
good job.
Yeah, definitely. One thing we can do now, maybe Anna, can you try to wake my computer up, move the mouse, and I think we should be able to. Okay, maybe I can unlock it with my watch. I'm not sure. That would be so cool. I'm gonna try to type my password from here on the computer.
Should we turn it on?
Let's try it. Let's turn it on, and let me remove the tempting. Let's turn it on. Now I didn't connect it properly to the.
No.
Didn't we connect the battery properly?
I think we should have. Oh, yep, it's connecting.
Okay, mine is not. I did something wrong. Okay, now you see the lights. Yeah, and it's connected to my neuron, but I think.
But if that was the case, so you think that maybe you've connected the battery?
Yes, I can fix that pretty quickly because I can remove this.
Okay, if you want to check if there's any questions,
Yes.
and I can screw it if you want.
Nice job with the legs.
Let me go for
Are
it.
we taking bets on whether it works? Oh. Well, what did you bet? It was just half.
Actually, mine works.
Yes.
Mikel's doesn't.
I'm
so
fired. Okay. Do you have any estimation on the durability of the contact points between key switches and the board? How many switches changes are too many? I mean, just because like this one we designed really good, so it's really difficult to break a socket. I'll make sure it's off. Okay, that you break a socket when you push the keyboard. Just be careful when you plug in.
Okay, but my understanding of the question is other, that this is the lifespan of the sockets without breaking them.
Yes,
that's my understanding. So
That's
when
the
the connection are gonna fail.
Yeah, like how many times you can change the switches.
So I would say that.
Or maybe what I did was not connect properly. Oh,
Okay.
okay, I did a bad job in two things.
Okay, for sure.
I think maybe that connection is not good.
Okay, so let's reassemble this real quick. So
No, the thing is that my mistake is that I used these ones that were used for the Underglow. Maybe you can swap this one.
Oh, these ones are too short and
Those are the ones for the Underglow.
Oh, but now it's connected.
No, but maybe that one, swap one for the Underglow. Because you see that has a white thingy. Sorry.
Okay.
So just remove any from the Underglow. Or one.
But the thing is,
Or maybe I can we have more screws over there. Maybe you can bring us a bag of screws we have there. Troubleshooting live.
yeah. But for
No, the neuron won't light up if it's not connected
yeah,
to
good.
that. So the Underglow won't light up.
okay, so
So maybe
this
that
one-
was
so
not
maybe
connected
this
properly.
was the issue.
Yes.
Yeah, because it seemed that this was connected properly.
Let me
Let,
make
let's,
this live.
let's hope that Manel is not looking.
Yes, Manel, don't look.
It's gonna be easier this way. Now that it has the keycaps, it's a bit more complicated.
Yes.
Sorry, this doesn't help.
This is not aesthetically pleasing, but
Yeah, but it's a matter of connecting it. Gravity here is not helping me. Actually, let's do it the other way around.
Yep.
This way gravity will help me. Let's hope. I can feel the tension.
chun 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 chun. Chun.
Actually, the side of this cable is not connecting properly right now. Oh, I was able to do it. Okay, it's properly connected now.
Maybe don't completely close the keyboard, so we
Okay,
can just.
I'm just gonna squeeze it. Okay. Wait, it seems like it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the issue.
That was the issue.
Okay.
So now when my computer wakes up, maybe we can bring the mouse and I wake it up. It
Wait,
will connect to the
Wait,
computer.
I'm gonna screw it first.
Yes. Let's put it back. Sorry.
Okay, well, we were able to troubleshoot it live.
Yes. Okay, I'm gonna try to. Do you have estimation? No, that was asked. Main shipment when? Right now, the main shipment is for August. Second, I would say like second half of August. And but as I said, I'm talking with Manel this week, so we'll have more details about that. You know how the mass production is going and everything next week probably, once I gather all the information. You know those long updates take time to write.
Yes.
You know they don't pop up from my brain like that fast.
It would be amazing that they are even written by our suppliers.
Yeah,
That
would be
would be, imagine, the dream.
directly from the supplier. You know,
Yes,
like this.
totally. Okay, so, okay, working.
Okay. Okay, this one is to. I don't know if my computer is waking it up or not. Is it? Oh, it's turn it off.
Yeah. They were on. So you've turned it off and on. Yeah.
Okay, there it goes.
This is off.
No, but that's on.
Mikel, what are you
No,
doing?
it's on.
Okay.
I think we have a. It's a. Okay, there we go. Okay, my password.
But cameras are
Yes.
getting your hands. So
No, but just use that one. That's the front camera. Okay.
Pressure.
Oh, we're in. We're in. I can show you. We are in. We are in. It's over there. We are in.
I should have been pointing to the computer.
To the computer today. Sorry. You must believe us.
Okay, so here we got the pad. Maybe you can change layers a little bit so people
Yes.
can see the different colors.
Well, this is my base layer, and then if I press this is shift, so it doesn't show anything. This is my second layer, so I have my arrow keys, and I also have other arrow keys here. I don't see the light. Maybe you can use this camera. It will show. Okay. I don't know if you're gonna. Okay. I think it shows changing the color.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. So I even have the underglow with a different color, so I know I'm changing layers with the my peripheral vision. So I have some arrow here, some copy paste and special copy paste, more arrow here, and also here I have some macros that help me with ClickUp, which is the app that we use. And I also have in this other side I have some layers that have some symbols. But that's basically it.
Awesome. Thank you, Mikel.
Oh, sweet. The other way
It's
around.
the other way around. Anyway, so do we have any final questions?
Yeah, Pedro saying the password is Perfectos Club because it's
Yes,
the only
because
one.
of the video.
Because of the video. That's a good one. And Little Lotus is saying from esports manager to electrical engineer.
Yes, that's a career.
That's a nice career, right?
Yes.
So let me check if we have anything more. Has the tenting leg been tested for durability before the tenting leg start loosen? For example, shaking it will cause the leg to drop out.
No.
I think no. I think the only thing we're working on right now, like for example, this leg here, you can see it. This one is flimsy right now, but that's because I lost. We have this we're changing for mass production.
Yeah.
They're gonna be a little bit stiffer.
But I can do a quick test to show you that they won't pop.
Yes.
But maybe it looks a little bit aggressive.
Yeah. Yeah. They're not gonna pop out.
So I cannot shake it harder and they won't pop. So yeah.
Yeah.
Probably if I did that without holding the palm pad would have gone flying.
Yes.
Because the magnets are not as strong as the rubber that is holding the legs in position.
The only thing that when I reassemble, I think I use this keycap for this and this for that, and that is a
Oh
bit
yeah,
loose.
this is the other way around.
They are no, these are this from here and that from there. So
Yeah.
there, I misassembled it
Yeah.
again.
So the 100 DVT units have
I
a.
changed layer.
What are you doing,
I
Mikel?
changed my layer. I changed to I think that's a one-shot layer, so that should go back. I don't know what I did.
Maybe it was me.
Oh,
Yes,
it was you.
me. Sorry, my bad. Sorry, fat fingering Mikel's layers. Anyway, yeah. So on the 100.
Maybe you're writing an email or something right now.
to the suppliers,
to the supplier, like,
Tell-
don't
telling-
make the keyboard.
telling them that they have to fix some issues.
Yes, exactly.
Yes. Okay, so in the 100 DVD units, these little rods have, I think it's not, you cannot see it, but they have a little modifications.
Yes, you can see
Maybe
there.
you-
Like
you
we,
can
we
see-
added some little.
Here, I don't know, maybe I can point with the screwdriver. Here, there's like a little paper,
I would say it's like a
plastic
like a
thingy.
ring, like a
Yeah,
plastic ring,
like a
thingy.
flat plastic ring here, and that's because we want to have kind of lower tolerance, so we want the rod to be connected to the aluminum leg, and but that's only a fix for DBT. The mass production units won't have that fix because
Yeah,
we
we
would
changed
have
the mold.
Yeah, exactly, we would have changed the mold, so the fitting, the stiffness of the rods is perfect.
Yeah, the thing is that we changed the size of the hinge on the metal leg,
Yeah.
and then we had now when we made that change for the DBT. So when we tried the rods, we realized that that experience wasn't perfect.
Yep.
So for the DBT, we have that little compromise, but nothing too much. And for mass production, it will be completely fixed.
Yep.
So I think that's it. There's an interesting question from Jay. How long did it take you to get used to using a thumb key for shift? Does it make it difficult to switch back and forth to a standard laptop keyboard?
Okay, so in my particular case, when I designed my layers for the race, I put shift on the thumb. And for me, it was like an amazing experience. I moved my Control, Alt, and Shift keys to the thumbs, and it was like, I never want to go back to the laptop. But truth is, I have two typing techniques. Touch typing that I use with the Race or the Defy, and I have my gaming typing technique that basically I'm using a couple of fingers on in each hand. So when I'm using a laptop, I'm just using my old slow technique, and when I'm on my Race or my Defy, I'm using my fast touch typing technique. And I love using the modifiers with thumbs. It's so much better.
I think one of the things that I postponed the most was that putting shift on my thumb key, and I'm not going back. And it happens to me when I grab another keyboard, my other muscle memory kicks in. So it's just for a moment you click, and then you remember that you don't have thumb keys, and then that's
then
it.
you stop using
You
your
stop
thumbs.
using your thumbs.
You only hit the space bar,
bar. Yes.
and one of the other thumb is just crying. You're
Yes.
waiting for the
Because
other
I only
buttons.
press the space bar with this one, and this one is like chilling. Yeah.
Chilling in the air.
In fact, you can see me when I have recorded myself touch typing. You can see that I even keep my thumb away from the thumb key. You see me type. Now I'm like this, but with a regular keyboard, I have my thumb up,
Flying,
so it doesn't really
Accidentally hit
Yeah.
the key. Yeah, got it.
Quick question from Cameron, and then we think we can cut because it's been an hour and a half, and they are still here. There's still 55 people
amazing.
watching. I'm amazed. So the question from Cameron Roloff is: are the choc switches in the thumb cluster also hot-swappable?
Yes.
Maybe you joined later, but yes. We swapped them.
Yeah, and we talked that we've made a few improvements in the top panel where they are easier to remove and assemble compared to the Race.
Yes.
And that because we figured out they were a little bit too stiff, and even some people when they were trying to remove it thought that it was not possible to remove them because
Yes.
it requires so much force. But now in the Defy, it's much easier, a nicer experience to remove and reassemble.
Okay. Last question from Cedric. Now they keep popping the questions. What connectivity method are you guys using most? Bluetooth, RF, or wired?
Okay, so right now we're using RF to show this.
Yes.
The one that I prefer is Bluetooth, just for comfort. But yeah, I think that's a matter of are you gaming, you're working. I prefer maximum comfort, and for me it's just
To switch
Bluetooth,
between
no
devices.
cables. Yeah, exactly. Switching between devices, laptop, and so on. So yeah.
Yep. Okay, so I think. Last question. Skillful is asking: will there be an option to buy the keyboard without switches?
No.
No.
This is a decision that we made years ago with the Race, and this is a matter of operations and having more. Like we right now have like 5,000,
6,000.
6,000.
48.
Okay, so over 6,000 variations of the Defy, so different SKUs, and if we had with no switches, we would even have more. So at some point, we need to cut the
And
amount
there's
of...
also the thing about how you need to ship the keycaps. So you need to put the keycaps. Yes, because I have it goes idle.
Yeah, it goes
to
in,
save battery.
Sure, yeah.
You can configure that to your
In
liking.
base core, yeah.
And so you will also need to ship the keycaps in another package, or maybe I don't want the keycaps, I just want the thumbkeys. Then that's another SKU, and you get down that rabbit hole, and you end up with a gazillion. And this is exponential. So every time you add the variation, it will be from 6,000, then 12,000, then 24,000.
And something to have in mind is that we try to create premium products with premium unboxing experiences, premium package, and so on. So if we wouldn't care about all of this, we just put the keycaps on a box,
Yes.
the switches on a box, and that's it. Shipping, everything gets so much easier. But in our case, we need to create this, or we at least aim to create these premium experiences with everything that we do. So for example, if we would sell the Defy without the switches and keycaps, what do we do with our case?
And what do you do when you open it? What do you see?
Exactly.
You see a keyboard without switches and keycaps. It
Yeah,
looks
but from a functionality standpoint, okay, so the keyboard won't be sandwiched inside the case anymore. So the keyboard would be
Yes.
going up and down in the box when
Rattling.
Rattling, yeah, exactly. So somehow we would need to figure out this. And also what you mentioned, you open the box and now it has, so you open the case and now it has no keycaps and switches. So that experience is much worse, and so on. So we decided to, okay, let's, even though we are aware that some people want no switches, in this case they would want the keycaps but want no switches, it's a minority, and it overcomplicates all this operation
Yes.
side, unboxing, premium experience, etc.
okay. So that's the last question. I think 1 hour and a half. It's more than enough. Disassembling, watching us disassemble the keyboard. I hope that you have enjoyed. Thank you so much, Luis.
Thank you.
For being patient with my mistakes.
I think it was interesting that
Yeah.
we made a mistake connecting the cable, and it was really easy to just unscrew
Yes.
6 screws, reconnect the ribbon cable, and it was fixed.
Yep.
And also we saw this feat of connecting. You were able to type your password at I
Yes.
don't know, like 4 meters away from here, and it
Yes.
was fine.
And I didn't make any mistake typing it because I don't see it. So yeah, I think it was fun. So thank
Awesome.
you so much, and thank you everybody for watching. And I hope to see you in the next stream, and will be probably next month.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
See you. Bye.